Today's worksheet, I just want to do a quick little tutorial on to make sure that there's no confusion on this. The number one obstacle that gets in the way of you reaching your body goals is the resistance to not really wanting to change. Now, I want to be honest with you, and as you go through this segment, if you realize that you really don't want to change, then there's probably no point in you going to part 2 or part 3 within this segment. So you can see there's 3 parts to change. So if you already identify that, you know what, I really don't want to change, then this program's not for you. Don't even bother going through part 2 or part 3, and I don't want to waste your time. So your time is very valuable, and I want to make sure that you respect it and we respect it. So George Bernard Shaw says, progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. This is a really awesome worksheet that we worked really hard on to make sure that it was like simple and to the point, but I want to make sure, as I mentioned, there's no confusion. So there's 3 parts to change. Part 1, which is what we're identifying in this worksheet. This worksheet is for you, so please print it out and take your time with it because it's very, very powerful. Part 1, do I really want to change? Part 2, what do I want to change? And that goes into the Body Goals webinar, which is about an hour long. We spent a lot of time on designing that webinar. That's actually something that we're giving away in the 21-day Kickstart program. So really, really excited about that as part of the program. So if you're just receiving the gift, unfortunately, you're not going to get that, but that is an amazing bonus giveaway in the program. And part 3 is, how do I change? How do I change if you want to change, right? And that's actually part of the Kickstart program to kind of give you that foundation of change so that you can progress and get unstuck. All right, so part 1 is really what this entire worksheet is about. Part 1 is how to identify if you really want to change or not, and that's totally okay. Remember, this is for you. You don't need to change if you don't want to, but we all are born with an innate desire to better ourselves. Doesn't mean that we're broken or we need to be fixed, but we crave as human beings to look, feel, and become the best version of ourselves. And one of my favorite quotes, if you go back to the original part of the worksheet, is, what would you do if you knew you would succeed? Not could, but would succeed. And I think once we realize, like, you know, if I would succeed, then our belief starts to shift. Okay? So this entire thing is really getting down into our subconscious, not our conscious, but our subconscious, our deep, deep, deep belief system about ourselves and what we're actually capable of doing if we want to change. All right, so please note that below are just several questions that will help you truly identify if you are ready for change. All right, so you got to be ready for it if you want it. Remember, this is for you, nobody else. So the instructions are just to replace this condition with whatever circumstance you want to change. It can be your body, it can be maybe a behavior like emotional eating, stress eating, skin picking, whatever it is. You can use this for other areas of your life, but this is specifically for body goals. And so this condition is really just the state, the space that you're currently in. Found that word to be the most appropriate word for this worksheet. So number 1, all right, we're going to do this together. The reason I have this condition, or the reasons I have this condition are, these are just everything that we're going to list that perhaps it gets in the way. So maybe you want to say that you're feeling overweight. Okay, so the reasons I'm overweight are because, and this is where you're going to fill in the blank. You're going to fill in that blank overweight in here. That's whatever you want to put in there. If you want to put whatever your current condition is, we're going to use overweight as an example. The reasons I'm overweight are because perhaps it's you don't have time to take care of yourself. You've got 3 children, 4 children, 2 children, you've got a man-child, I don't know. You want to list all those reasons. You work too much, you're too tired, food just tastes too good, you don't want to give up your social life, you like to go out with your friends, whatever it's going to be, just list it all out there, all of your excuses, just like lay them out there, just bleh. write on the paper, okay? Make that list. You can just write it on the side of the paper. Number 2, the payoffs for having this condition are, okay, so this is where it gets a little wild. So the payoffs are like the rewards. Like, I know it sounds crazy, like what are the rewards of being overweight? Well, maybe you're not going to draw too much attention to yourself because you were sexually abused when you were younger, so you don't want to draw that attention to yourself. Or maybe you just don't want to be seen, or you were told or put down as a child that you don't matter, nothing you do matters. So you're just you use that food as comfort, right? So you use that emotional eating, you use your eating behaviors, even though they're undesired, because they don't allow you to look the way you want to look. It doesn't allow you to feel the way you want to feel, and ultimately be the person you want to be. However, it serves you in some way because... Write that down. Now, please know that when I actually started doing this worksheet for myself, as I've started overcoming my binge eating disorder, my food addiction, and letting go, releasing the extra weight that I didn't want to carry because it was weighing me down, it took me like days, weeks to come up with these answers. So take your time, and I'm just planting seeds, so there's no rush for this. Number 3, the main reason I don't want to give up this condition forever is because, so you're going to fill this out, whatever your condition is. If you have any confusion, please go ahead and, write to us, and we'll be happy to clear anything up. That's why I'm doing this video today. So the next part, after you find out your answers and they become clear, in order to let go of any undesired thought, habit, or behavior, you first have to process the fear of letting it go. So listen to your feel your feelings. Feel how you feel when you think about actually letting that go. Maybe the fear of giving up overeating or binge eating for me was that I sought out a tool, which was binge eating, to give me relief from the real world, because life was really hard for me at one point and it was too painful to deal with, so I wanted to self-medicate myself with over-consuming food until the point where I ended up throwing it up, because life was just too hard for me at that time. That was the only thing that I had that brought me relief, safety, and comfort, and it allowed me to feel calm. So that's something that I had let go of, but I was afraid of letting it go, and I didn't realize that until I allowed it to process, right? So I'm afraid of letting blank go because of blank. Take your time with this. This is some really, really deep, powerful stuff. So the next part is process the fear of letting this condition go forever, not just temporarily, but forever, because sometimes we like to temporarily let something go and then we don't really want to give it up because it serves us in some way. It brings us some enjoyable emotion like relief or comfort or safety. And I don't know is not the final answer. Don't give up on yourself with this one. So just ask yourself, if I did know the answer, what would it be? And just let it process, like we talked about, process the fear and just process that I don't know should not be your answer. Just, let it sink in. We're planting seeds here, okay? So you see, it's not about the food, the workouts, it's about you not really wanting to change. So if you don't want to let certain behaviors go, because remember, your body is not the cause of anything. Your body, if you're not where you want to be, your body is the symptom of any undesired thoughts, actions, or behaviors that you do daily. If your body is exactly where you want to be, then I'm sure you're not even in the right place, because this is not for you. But if you're somebody who's not happy with the space that you're currently in and you are ready to change and you do want to change, then it's the thoughts, the behaviors, and the daily actions that you take. And this is just really what it's all about. So it's not about the food or the workouts. It's about what you do on a day-to-day basis. And remember, success will show up for you when you show up for you. So thank you so much for being a part of this video. I hope you enjoyed this gift. It was really powerful. Let it process. Email us back if you have any questions. We are here to support you 100% because this is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And remember, in the meantime, to give yourself permission to look, feel, and be your absolute best. And hopefully we will see you in the course. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.